as the video says, the road to glory starts in Bucharest, and one of these teams is going to get a whole lot more glory as they do try and battle to the semi-finals. Two teams that have already picked up one best-of-1 win now will be locking horns again in one more map. It will be, this time, we're going to get to see LDLC and Space Soldiers after picking up the various victories. Of course, this is just Group A. Group B is running parallel to this one. You'll be able to find the links over in the internet stratosphere. Still, Vendetta and Natu are joining me to talk through a little bit about what to look forward to. Again, this time LDLC and Space Soldiers, both of them have actually been relatively, not criticized, but you guys have already stated that it wasn't perfect CS being played to get them to this winning spot.
No, it definitely wasn't. But both teams showed solid CT sides. That's something they have in common. But we did see issues, especially for Space Soldiers on their first map, that as soon as they're interrupted trying to set up for their defaults and everything, at least on Cobble, that turned out to be a massive issue for them. And they had to, really struggle to actually get those 5 rounds because, again, 2 of those rounds were off of the pistol.
Yeah, and the same applies for their executes, too. I mean, they had the ideas, the fundamental parts to start a strat, but then actually executing, they just couldn't get the entries to make the CTs uncomfortable.
Is that a common trend then when you have a team developing and kind of trying to battle to be T1? It often starts with a good CT side, and the T side is something that comes with time and more prep, or is that not necessarily?
It depends.
I think it's very map dependent. Honestly, like on a map like Cobble, I would expect more teams to have their T side locked down sooner than their CT side, because their CT side is a lot about having solid communication and really good rotations and just a good understanding of how your teammates play. And that's something that requires more time than just setting everyone in one certain position to throw a certain smoke and then run, which is oftentimes like how you end up playing, especially like if you do a lot of B takes, that's how you set up things, right? So for a map like Cobble, I think that's something where you get the T sides rolling first, but for some maps like, that doesn't require that as accurate rotations. You can get away with it easier and just rely off of individual skill more than anything else.
Another way of putting it is that CT sides need a lot of risk taking, especially if you go down in numbers. You kind of have to take risks, and that's the kind of thing you get with experience once you start getting that comfort zone into your gameplay.
Well, I mean, let's just quickly recap, because likely we have got some new viewers who didn't catch how we got to this position. The first game we did bring to you today, guys, was of the
Space Soldiers versus
Star
Attacks.
Soldiers. It's because we were talking about Star Ladder results earlier. Space Soldiers playing their game versus Alternate Attacks. And actually, things looked pretty bleak for Space Soldiers after overcoming the odds, though, on Cobble. We did see them pick up the win in the end. But, I mean, the biggest takeaways from that was a Xantares 30. And Attacks looking a little weak, would you say, Halvor?
Well, I think both teams showed weakness, but obviously the problem for Attacks was that they had like mental lapses. They lost 2 eco rounds, or lost versus 2 eco rounds, which never should have happened, and that was pretty much the only reason why Space Soldiers got a window to get back into it. And obviously, I wouldn't necessarily think that that's like a following error that's going to happen time and time again, but obviously that was the big deal that actually lost them Cobble.
Well, managing to do damage without Kevlar certainly was something to take away from Space Soldiers and their victory. We're going to go ahead and meet them, though. Let's meet the Turkish boys, who are 1 map win away from getting into that semi-final. Space Soldiers. 1 more map to go for them, and I mean, their performance did seem to catch the eyes of our analysts, at least on the defensive side of things. It wasn't just a one-man show as well. Taking away from this one, we did also get to see good performances from other members, the likes of Paz, even Despy with the AWP was one of the more impressive characters.
Yeah. I think Paz especially. I mean, he had a lot of moments where he would be able to get multi-kills on that CT side, and when he was pressured, being the lone guy on that A-bomb site.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think for a lot of, I guess that was the case for both teams, really. The fact that they started to shine on their CT side. Paz didn't really have a good first half. On the T side, didn't get a lot of things done. Normally, like on a map like Train, for instance, he's usually much more effective. And same thing for Desp as well. And we talked about how it would be a battle of the ops. in that first game, and we didn't really get to see any of the ops really
Keith.
have any. Yeah, well, on the T side, because both of, like, Keith had most of his impact on the CT side, and the same thing went for Desp as well.
They didn't have a lot of money, did they? I mean, that's like kind of they didn't opt to go for it.
Yeah,
true.
Like it's a big risk to take.
Yeah,
a lot of money spent.
We saw just how incredibly close that LDLC game was, where they did just about prevail and pip Godsent at the post, and now they stand here battling to get one step closer to that 50,000 prize. But let's take a look at LDLC. That is, of course, Existence and his squad. We've seen good things from them on Overpass, getting so close and then forced into overtime by Godsent, who did seem to find form. But prevailing in the end, and part of the parcel was the man on your screens here. And to talk you through exactly where his strengths do lie, it's none other than the biggest Existence fanboy known to man, Halvor. Hey, mate.
Yeah, I think it's a rival between me and Thorin, really, who has the most love for Existence. Yeah. I mean, the guy's immune to headset hair. Like, how can you not be impressed already there? You start off, at 10 out of 10.
It's concrete hair. I'm pretty sure he hasn't taken the hair gel out for like years now, and he just takes it off at the end of the day like a hat.
I don't think gravity applies to his hair.
No. And, well, I mean, he did manage to have some relatively breathtaking performance, actually in-game. Top of the scoreboard as well from him. But we have to talk vetoes. Players are almost ready, and so we have to start talking maps. We'll be able to bring them up. But you said you've already done your preparation, Halvor. You told me that it's kind of clear-cut for you.
Well, yeah, the teams have very locked-in vetoes already. So Mirage is going to go away once again. One of the differences, I guess, from the first matchups we've seen is that, well, we're not going to see Overpass because that's the locked-in veto for Space Soldiers as well.
Okay.
Outside of that, it's again Game of Chicken who wants to veto nuke first, and it comes down to like who actually starts out the veto. So, and as we can see, ends up being Space Soldiers having to bite that bullet. So that means Train is gone, which happened to be their pick, like Space Soldiers' pick when they met up in the semifinals of ESWC.
Yeah, interesting that LDLC, despite winning that map at ESWC, chose to ban it this time versus Space Soldiers. Natu, you got to witness some of that performance at ESWC. Was it relatively easy for LDLC to take that 2-0?
I didn't get to see it at all. We were in Malaysia, weren't we?
Oh, I didn't know if you were catching it. I don't know.
Just throwing us under the bus.
Hey, you guys were like, you sounded like you'd watched it. You were telling me like, oh, it was a 16-14 on Train. I guess you've just got the internet.
we actually have done research. Yeah, like in that sense.
I figured you were watching. My bad. Excuse me. Time zones are a weird thing. But Cobblestone did go again. It'll be the map played, so we get to see Space Soldiers perhaps tighten some things up.
Yeah. Well, my first concern is that how lackluster their T side was against aggression is now it's going to be a test of them being able to really like can they adjust to that, because I'm pretty sure LDLC is going to keep doing the same things we saw attacks doing. We saw them do that on Overpass against Godsent as well. A lot of aggression, a lot of moments where they were trying to surprise their opponent off guard, and they really succeeded with that well. So I'm expecting to see more of that from LDLC.
So win conditions then?
Well, for who?
I mean, we have to talk about Space Soldiers and potential to upset, because I mean, I'm assuming they're coming into this one as underdogs given the last time these two teams met.
Yeah, well, obviously the win conditions has to be solid performances from more people than just Centaurus.
Yep.
And again, it's going to be kind of rinse and repeat from their game versus attacks. The fact that you need guys like Desp to actually be able to be impactful. I think he's going to have to have a much bigger presence on their T side this time around, though, than what he had in the first game. And basically, it boils down to the fact that Space Soldiers need to be able to deal with aggression better than what they did versus attacks, because there's no doubt that LDLC knows what pushes the buttons of Space Soldiers, and they're going to try to abuse that to no end. And we saw that even on Overpass with LDLC being aggressive, Existence pushing up long all the time, and that kind of stuff. And I don't think that's going to end. We even saw Toinu taking up really really risky angles, but he makes it work, which definitely throw off Godsend. And if he can do something similar towards the B plateau with an op, for instance, it's going to be the same result that we saw Kyiv have success with versus Space Soldiers.
There were some very ballsy plays, actually, down to the green, in the crunch time as well from the French squad. But prediction-wise, I've already highlighted that it is evident that LDLC will be coming to this as favourites. Are you guys going to run with the favourites now, too? You have to justify your answer as well.
I do think so. I think it just comes down to the fact that I feel like LDLC with Existence will have more ability to adapt to situation because we saw Space Soldiers are good at being aggressive as well. They know how to make plays on that side. So I just feel like that they have more experience through Existence being there, the calming factor, and he's gonna have these boys go through to the semis.
Yeah. LDLC.
Well, last time I had to restrain my heart from picking LDLC.
God.
This time I can actually have logic and my heart with me as I pick LDLC. Again, Space Soldiers, even though they won versus Tax, it wasn't the most comfortable win. Nope. Like we said, they kind of got back into it because of mistakes from Attacks. Those 2 eco wins was absolutely massive. And LDLC have usually had a very good T side on this map. And
damn you.
The CT side from Space Soldiers weren't really as solid as we would have expected. Like they could have easily had more struggles hadn't it been for those eco rounds. So I think that's going to be the edging factor.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I'm saying damn you is because I always said I'd go against you, right? I always said I'd be...
Yeah, no, but you can join us for this one. There's
I mean, it seems
there's no shame in joining the Existence
cult.
fan club. Yeah.
It's not even a club, it's a cult at this point in time. Every time he's on it, you just hear him literally in the green going, Kevin, Kevin. If he had pom-poms, he'd be wiggling them. Yeah. But I'm going to join you. I guess I think in this mindset, given what we saw from Space Soldiers on this very map, I think LDLC may prove to be too tough of an adversary. So 3 for LDLC. So weird doing predictions. I've literally never done this before.
How does it feel?
I mean, I feel special. I feel like my opinion is valued.
You're 200% so far. You can go for 300.
I'm technically the best at predictions right now. Yeah. Well, actually, how have the casters been doing in their predictions? We'll bring them up. Boys, how are you doing in your predictions?
Didn't go so well.
Okay.
I have predicted close games, and we have had close games. So
that's like a cop-out. Yeah, come on. That's like there will be CS played today.
People will buy AWPs.
Yes, that will happen. But I would like to join the Existence fan club as well.
You are? Are you all going LDLC?
We're taking in members.
Taking in members.
Space Soldiers to 16-0 now. Watch this. We're all going to look absolutely foolish. Yeah. All right, boys. I guess we'll leave you to it. You guys enjoy this one.
Thank you very much. And now, as we get ready to jump into this one, I'm also in the fan club for this one. I honestly think it's going to be LDLC taking this one, but there is that potential for an upset. We saw the strength of the guys coming in from Space Soldiers in the last matchup there. It's certainly something not to be undervalued as we go into this map in just a few moments here.
Definitely. Space Soldiers, they have a chance, but I think the ball is in the court of LDLC right now. This feels very 2008, 2009-esque Existence. This is the classic Existence, not just the mastermind that he was in for example, the guys from Titan, when he played them, was the in-game leader. But this is the vintage Existence where he gets fragged, where he top frags. I also looked over the stats from the game they had against Space Soldiers at ESWC, and he was top fragging in both games for his teams there as well. So this is not just a one-off performance where he just top frags just in one game in this tournament. This is something that he started to do again. So if Existence has that level, then LDLC are just, they're monsters.
The desk had already mentioned it here too, but there's the 3 big players from Space Soldiers that really need to come out here and shine, and that was Xentrix, Despy, and Paz that we saw having the big performances. Despy with the op, and that's going to be, I mean, all 3 matches that we've had really interesting op-on-op battles. It was JW versus Tonu in the last matchup there. We had Despy going up against Kyiv over in the first matchup, and now it's going to be, once again, it'll be Despy, and this time he's going to be going up against Tonu, and we saw how aggressive Tonu was being, but at the same time, how well Despy was able to play out to positions and whatnot. So I feel like that's going to be another very interesting aspect of this match that we need to really keep our eyes on, especially again now that we go back to Cobble.
Oh yeah, Cobble, great map and a great showcase for these 2 teams, and this is going to be pretty exciting. Here we go with the knife round between these 2, of course, looking to decide who starts where on DE Cobblestone.
Well, we'll get into things now and take a look at it. Oh, that's
oh well.
Good way to start, boys. Hand-eye coordination on point.
Yeah, just like ping pong the other night.
Calm down now. To bring that up.
Here we go.
Team kill, interestingly, in the knife round, it seems.
It seems like whenever Team LDLC are playing, there's always bound to be a team kill in there somewhere.
Well, it comes down to the 1v1, and it's going to be Existence. He lost it, but how do you have 3 HP?
3 HP.
How did that happen?
I have no idea. But LDLC will, of course, switch over to that CT side, as it is usually preferred here in Cobblestone, and start us off between these 2.
Someone's left-clicking a little bit too much there.
Yeah.
Feels bad.
Feels bad, man. So here we go, pistol round coming up, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how these two teams are going to do and what they're going to do in this pistol. As we, of course, know every fan and follower of CS:GO knows the importance of this round and what it can bring as momentum and economy into the rest of the game. So, very important one coming out, and this is interesting. Tugux has bought a Molotov, which is something we don't see a lot in pistol rounds. So I'm really looking forward to what he's going to use that for.
Well, let's take a look and see how exactly the Space Soldiers do proceed now as they start off on their T side here. And now remember, this is where they faltered quite a bit when they played this 2 maps ago. This is where they really struggled to really make that impact there. Being scouted out very early on by LDLC. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a factor, but look at how aggressive they're being. They've sent no one over here to the A-bombs. They're going to be around the huge flank, but they've got that player up on top. So Zentaries, he's going to be able to give them the early warning. They know it's coming. Tugix jumping up there. Grabs the first kill. Mr. responds, as does XMS. But Despy also picking one up. Keeps it even into a 3 versus 3. They're going to leap back down. Paz expects it, but he actually doesn't want to fully commit to this battle versus Misto, and he moves in. Grabs the shot against one of the remaining members here from Space Soldiers, taking an additional duel, but he's going to fall to Despy. XMS picking up another one, and he's just going to jump right onto the bomb here now. Not even wasting any time here. Despy moves in, gets into the duel with Tuanu. He's still alive, but now he needs to be able to move in here and stop this. He goes for the diffuser, but it does not work out, and LDLC are going to take control of the pistol.
That was 4 HP on the diffuser. Are you kidding me? That's so nail-bitingly close for the terrorist to get that round, but he will not succeed. It will be LDLC grabbing it, and look at that. Balls with no kit just jumping on the bomb 10 seconds.
Going right for it there, and it ends up just barely working out for them, as you mentioned. 4 HP survives that one. I'm not sure if anybody else had a kit on the team either, so that was bringing it down pretty close. So
yeah.
Bit of a close encounter there, and it just barely works out for the LDLC roster. And we immediately go into a pause too. I would assume it would be technical in nature, so we should get that fixed as soon as possible, and then jump back into the game.
Yeah, surely. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one because the terrorists will be, of course, they have that bomb down, so they're probably going to eco this one and then buy AKs to the next. So looking forward to see what Space Soldiers can bring into this one, because as we said and as the desk said, their T side did not look good last time around, and they have been talking about this, I'm sure. They've been talking about how they can improve it and how they can perfect it going into this game.
Absolutely. Starting off, however, with the pistol round loss is certainly not going to help their case, and letting, again, LDLC round around the backside there, go all the way through the B halls to start that flank that early on is certainly not going to look so great. That was another area where we saw the Space Soldiers mess up quite a bit as well. In addition to being scouted out, they were being flanked out a lot. They were being surrounded multiple times after they took control of the site, and this caused so much confusion on the side of Space Soldiers that, when it came time to rethink, they had to look towards so many angles, pay attention to so many different players. They just couldn't handle it, even if they had a man advantage there, and it allowed a lot of the time for the guys over on alternate attacks to actually successfully pull it off just by purely confusing the hell out of them.
Yeah, definitely. So, still waiting here to get this of course, there we see. Yeah, and some sound issues there. A headset is being replaced, I think, there from one of the lovely guys down here in the PGL studios. And we will be ready to go anytime soon, guys, with the second round of this game.
And keep in mind, of course, this is the upper bracket finals, of course, to decide who's going to be moving straight forward into the semifinals.
Yeah.
Starting off tomorrow. So we'll figure that out, of course, in the victor of this game, and that's your easy ticket through. Winning those 2 best of 1s, you don't have to worry about the lengthy best of 3 sets in the lower bracket. It's a nice ticket through. You can spend some time watching the games here for the rest of today.
Yeah, definitely. And also with the fact that we have Godsend and alternate attacks playing in the losers game, so dropping down to the winning team of that one is also very, very scary for either one of these 2 teams, because as we said, the games have been so close. So you could be in the winner's game, but you could lose in the decider easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, too, but I believe with the way that the groups will cross, you'll go against the second place finishing team out of the other group, which in theory could lend things to be a little bit easier depending on the team that ends up being. But we've already had some upsets happen in that other group too. With
easy for ends, man.
Beat
Hell Racers. Just my predictions are just way off now. There's just no way of returning.
Hellraisers just can't catch a break. It's the real problem.
Yeah. It seems like all the teams with the red logos, Astralis as well, just not working out.
No, that's true. It's all teams with blue logos, or slightly blue logos, I think, are the ones that end up finding success recently. Cloud9.
Yeah, exactly. It shifts somehow.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just shifts.
Depends on the color palette. Maybe yellow's the time of year now since we're getting into fall.
Yeah.
Actually, we're kind of getting closer to winter now that I think about it. To be honest.
But then again,
just go back to the
LDLC's
blue.
logo is white, and that is snow.
No, it's like white. It's like white and blue, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it was white and blue before, but now it's just white.
I don't know. We gotta get a look at one of the jerseys in a second here.
I'm pretty sure
I think
it's white.
they got that cool wolf thing going on now.
Yeah.
That part's blue, isn't it?
I think it's white.
I think it depends on the the palette.
I remember.
palette of the background.
I remember back in the day before they had the wolf logo, they had white text with dark blue and light blue outline.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Well, it's technically still fall, and with that said, I think that gives the advantage to Space Soldiers here since they have the yellow uniforms.
This is some quality analysis, by the way.
Just saying. They're also on the red side there, so they have a nice palette going on. I think they're on the left side there. So
definitely. Of course, a nice shot at the trophy that the winning team will take home, apart from the $30,000 that will go to the first place and a spot at the major qualifier
in Atlanta. Just under a month now, I think. A little over it, actually, if I remember the dates correctly.
Yeah, it's somewhere in December.
Yeah, it's like December. It's like the second week in December or something like
Yeah.
that. Dates aren't really important, but getting over to the E-League Studios, why not get to be able to play there? I've actually not been there yet. Wanted to head over there for some time.
Yeah, definitely. That
Been
sounds like a
struggling to
sick
make the trip out
experience.
there. Flights are expensive in the U.S. it's not like here in Europe.
If I could go, I would have gone as well, just to spectate. Just the studios just look sick.
You guys have very cheap flights in Europe, by the way.
It depends.
You have like the budget airlines.
That is true. That is true.
You can like fly from like UK to Germany like $20 or something.
Yeah, but then you have to book like 4 months in advance.
Yeah, but still, you can do that. It's an
is
impossibility to do something like that in the US.
I can't.
There's no way that's ever happening.
Planning is not my thing.
The other problem is everything in the US is like too far apart. So
yeah, that is true.
because the US is like huge.
And for those of you asking why we're not going live yet, we are still waiting for a technical issue with a headset of one of the players. We will be, of course, resolving it. We won't be, but the PGL admins will be resolving that as quick as possible. So that is why we are just waiting for this one, Existence, and the guys from LDLC just waiting patiently, just ready to get in there.
Yep, and then of course coming up after this one, I believe we'll have the elimination match that'll be between Alternate Attacks and Godson now, and that's going to turn itself into a best of 3. And then we also have the final best of 3 too, which will be the decider match. The winner of that one versus the loser of this current match right here will also face off to decide the final spot, moving in to play the winner of the other group, which is being done over on Hugo's stream currently.
Yes, that is true. So that's all the information laid out for you guys. Of course, you can go on to euminor.pglesports.com, I think is the web address. Definitely there's a link down below. If you're watching on Twitch, you can just scroll down.
Hold on, I got it open now. Is it there?
There's a Facebook and a Twitter. That's good enough.
Your link's not there, so you're just untrustworthy is the problem.
Oh, okay.
You're just a liar.
Surely it should be on the Twitter.
Can't be trusted. Now Mod's going to have to go in, link it in the Twitch chat or something.
Oh.
I don't think I have mod powers here, do I?
We're going to find out.
Wait, hold on, I'm going to check it real quick. Nope,
yeah.
I do not have mod powers. So, can't tell them. Now
Can't
they're
tell
lost.
them.
What are they going to do?
No one will know. Big confusion everywhere.
They just don't know where to go now. It's all over.
Don't know what to do with their lives. It's done. Fuck it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Calm down.
Yeah, okay.
Family show.
Yeah, but of course, still waiting here. But we are waiting
There we go.
for some good CS, and well, the patient will be rewarded.
Yeah. No one has to deal with us anymore. Well, they do. But
Technically,
it's not us, sitting here trying to waste time.
Yeah, but here we go. Of course, as I said before, all this confusion happened. We will be seeing Space Soldiers on an eco, and then they will be buying up in the next one due to them getting a bomb plant in that first round. So right now, it's just a tiny bit of investment. Flashbang and Tech 9 and P250, so that's it.
Well, let's get into it and take a look at things here as Space Soldiers taking very, very slowly in their opening push now. They are going to push, they're going to move themselves a little bit closer here to the long area, but XMS up in, what do we call this? What do you call that little boost up area? I've heard it like 15 different names.
We just call it boost or castle in Danish.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. Castle. Wait, what would you call it in Danish?
Ball. Which is actually, funnily enough, the last name of KGB.
Oh, all right. Well, he's gonna destroy things from the bowl there.
So there we go. Despy with one, and that's going to be it surely for the Space Soldier side here.
Zentri's looking to do... Oh, I was about to say, trying to do whatever he can, but it's not much, apparently. XMS is going to roll right out and wreck him pretty quickly there. So it goes 2-0 from LDLC. The second round upset does not happen. But the third round investment comes in from Space Soldiers,
Yeah.
so this is where things get interesting, of course. They are going to be missing a lot of utility, however.
But very interesting that they are running Despe on a glass cannon. He actually has enough money just to buy that AWP. He had 4,800 in the bank, and he will be investing all of that into one big sniper rifle. Hopefully, it'll help him make the difference for his team. Also, that investment is well, not financially viable, really. Let's see if he can make the return happen.
They're going to be, again, spread out across the map in a basic default pattern here for the T side. XMS looking to play around with the guys long a little bit if they decide to push in there. Won't be having it. Despi also getting tagged from the Molotov. Only 1 HP, though. Not a big deal. And no one really going too crazy with their pushes on that CT side. And what it does allow, though, is it allows for Tuanu to get up in that aggressive position behind the box. So acting as a very, very early warning system in the event they try to go for a B hit. And XMS actually bailing out from A long at just the right time.
Yeah.
He was about to get pushed by 2 different players, so he's going to fall back. Get boosted up by a teammate, and won't have to deal with these 2 at long anytime soon. Now, I'm not sure if he actually spotted them himself, but he certainly suspected something, and now will fall back to wait for the hit to come in if they decide to send it over towards A. Still no decision has been made yet from Space Soldiers either, but it looks like they're going to just send it into a default B hit here as the bomb's being sent in this direction.
It makes sense. 3 TT's players currently in B, 1 in drop, and can readily rotate into the A bomb side if needed be. Actually, just outside of drop, I stand corrected. But one to focus on is that they have 2 flashes and 2 smokes on the Space Soldier side. That is not a lot to hit that B bomb side. So they have to make sure that each flashbang and each smoke comes to full fruition. They're right now going to drop into drop, funnily enough, and now going to push onto the B bomb side.
Paz opening things up first here as he moves himself in, but the rest of his teammates with that drop control too. This is actually a lot of pathways to get into the bomb site successfully, and there we go. Engine starts it off. The trade comes in from Alex with some good shots coming out from Engine and Paz. They clear out all 3 remaining in the bomb site here, and Engine just going to stand out in the open. He lets these players come through the door. Only 8 seconds to get that bomb on the ground, but thankfully they'll be able to succeed in doing that. It's just XMS, and there's nothing that he can do here. He's got no utility, just a FAMAS and armor along with a kit, so he has that extra time, but it's definitely not going to be worth going for this one. It's time to fall back, get the hell out of here, and save that rifle for the next round. It's going to be a first pickup here from Space Soldiers on their 3rd round force-up.
Yeah, definitely great if your support player can stand up and bring 3 frags to the board, as Engine just did there. So, had his tip to him, good performance, and LDLC will be forced back. They're not going to get that 3-0 spy from Space Soldiers. Will pay off in the end. Despe will also survive with the AWP, which is very important for the money situation going on into the next couple of rounds. So all in all, a great round for the Turkish side of Space Soldiers.
Bomb didn't even blow up. What was that?
Yeah, just
Disappointed, man.
Didn't
It
want
was, it was a dud.
do I have to blow up each time? No, not this day. And here we go. That's
Can't count on 'em.
those are the frags from Engine here. The first 2. And then the 3rd one again as Existence try to push in. So very good job from Engine, who is usually the support player, usually not the one getting all the frags for Space Soldiers. So him stepping up and getting a triple here is really nice.
So, Space Soldiers finally onto the board, and LDLC actually sending quite a few of their players over to the B-bomb site.
Yeah.
4 of them are going to stack here initially, and again, they just have XMS pushed out towards A long to watch for an A hit. But Space Soldiers not adjusting anything, since obviously they're kind of gambit there with waiting down the timer, looking for opening picks, and then just kind of exploding in all at once to the B-bomb site. Well, it worked out for them. Whether they'll attempt to do the same thing or not is yet to be seen, but obviously with this style of early push, it could go towards either site still.
Yeah, I really like the decision, to be honest. LDLC knows that they're going to be on the back foot, whatever side pretty much Space Soldiers did because of the economy. So they think, okay, what did Space Soldiers do last time they bought with something like this? That was around before they hit the B side after some time. So they stacked 4 players there. Usually, you have somewhat of a chance if you're close range with those 5-7s, but it's not going to be this round definitely because Space Soldiers are rotating from that B side, going to A, and so has one of the CT players from LDLC.
They move up towards it now, and again, time's going to run down very low, but they changed up the hit most definitely, and LDLC have certainly caught onto it here now, as we've seen Existence go for the aggressive push into the halls. He knows that there's nothing even close to this B site. They're going to move in. They're going to see this coming. XMS catches the first kill, spots the shadow. Despi responding, and Engine just getting his gun out in time to be able to take that XMS before he's knocked out. Goes into a 4v3, and Existence shut out by Tugux nicely down there, taking him down, and with Despi finding Tuanu. Well, was a good find there from LDLC, and whoa, what's happening with Mistu all of a sudden? He pops out there, finds 2 kills. It's under control, however. Tugux grabs the frag, but at the very least, that's a very costly round for Space Soldiers and what otherwise was going to be a walk-up onto the site.
Yeah, and so very close for him actually winning the round because if he got the frag onto Tugux, the last guy was on 12 HP. So that was very close to going wrong. Love the fact that Existence just immediately senses what's going on and does the flank, and therefore gives the information so they can rotate all 4 players to the side that it's hit. So technically a correct decision by LDLC, just lacked in the battle. It is hard. 5-7 against fully board AK. You're not going to win that a multiple amount of times. So, but good decision making by LDLC, I have to say.
Well, LDLC, however, are still going to stick to that 4-man stack over here on the B-bomb site. Not even close to the investment they had in the last run, though. It's just PT-50s, and I think XMS managed to sneak in a deagle there. Those are the only real guns that they do have to try and find some sort of takedown against Space Soldiers with here. And Xanter is going to waste no time looking for that initial kill. Good angle holds against Twanu, but the nade actually rolls in and does a decent amount of damage here, so kind of priming him to be knocked out by players like XMS should the need arise. Unfortunately, he's way over on the A-bomb site, so we'll be seeing that. Just the P250s try and stop this all-in hit, which once again is about to explode out onto this site here. They're struggling to get these kills, but they're not losing health themselves either. Just the slow and steady process will win the race. Existence again, kind of sneaking in 1 kill there against Xantares, but looks like Alex and XMS are already down to the last 2.
Really like that take from Space Soldiers. They played so safely because they know sometimes when you face an eco, things can just go wrong. So they just play the most safe round that they can, and they lose 1 player, actually 2 players in the end. So technically it's not as good. But the beginning of the round was perfect. Should not have lost that last play in that last duel, but still that slow play paying off, getting them the round securely. And 3-2 will be the score. They have a bunch of money to spare as well. That means Despe can rebuy the orb if needed be.
Again, starting things off, it's XMS that leads the way currently here for the guys on LDLC by a decent margin. Still only a few rounds in, of course. Haven't seen a whole lot from Existence as of yet.
Don't worry, he'll turn up.
Never
That's
doubt.
a true Existence fanboy. But yeah, here we go. Alex with the UMP 45. He's been playing a lot with that weapon, especially against fully bought up teams. We saw it on Overpass as well, and he actually managed to do quite well with it. The rest of the game did not look as strong, but when he had that UMP-45, he actually looked even stronger than he was on the M4, so probably a good decision from him, money-wise as well. First off, a couple of frags being traded.
Engine finding that kill there. It keeps it even, and Tukux, he's got control. That smoke's in the way, though, and also XMS is in such a good spot. Despy doesn't expect him here. However, that aggressive push, I was about to say, it could have gone badly if he kind of walked into his crosshair, but it ends up working out in the opposite direction. Now XMS, he can save the day here. He's been backed up. He's got ramp control all of a sudden. He's isolated the final 2 back over here, just in that staging area outside of A-Long, and now Mistu, nobody sees him in here. He sneaks in, gets into a great spot, and almost immediately capitalizes on it with a kill on his Xantares. Now it's just Engine left alive, but he too is playing sneakily. Shuts out into the open there, finds XMS, takes him down, and now he's making a beeline over to the B-bomb site.
Yeah, and Misto, of course, fears this. He fears that at least he's gone through the smoke, but now, well, A's clear, bomb's going down. It's probably going to be a B plant, and Misto's now on the rotate. But look, he has a Molotov or an incendiary grenade, if you will, and he'll be using that to flush someone out. And technically, Chicken Coop is probably one of the most likely positions. He will not molly that this time around. So it's probably going to be a quick win for Engine here. Surely he's going to just go in for the backstab.
Or just shut it down with a headshot there. He's still looking for him, though. And oh, the spray. A little bit messy at first. But
I was getting scared there.
it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. No worries. 4-2 to Space Soldiers. Economy's looking really nice for them. 5k to spare on Engine. Some of the players, of course, Antares are on $100, but still most of them can rebuy. On the other side of things, LDLC only on pistols.
For LDLC here too, we can see, like I said, XMS almost saves the day with this one, but they fail to account for Engine, who is hiding in that spot. So he's able to roll out there, bring it down to the 1v1, and then obviously tuck away in Chicken Coop where nobody checks for him there. So good clutch from Engine. It brings back the control for Space Soldiers here and sends the LDLC roster onto another eco.
Individually, the difference that Engine has made so far is the big difference in Space Soldiers, because they have a couple of players, as we talked about, that really likes to go off and get a big amount of frags. But when a player like Engine also goes off and get a big amount of frags and wins all of his duels, then they're going to be in the lead, and then they're going to be defeating teams like LDLC if they continue to play like this. So this is great to see Engine stepping up and getting some frags.
There is no fear at all on the peak over there towards drop. Rolls out, finds the kill into the player in window. And quickly dips back in there too. He's looking for more in a moment, but nobody's going to be getting out from that smoke. And oh, so close to finding Alex, and there you go. Takes a few tries, but he does grab that kill. Xantares continues to dominate the drop area of the map. And he's going to toss his pistol in here too to try and see if he can freak anybody out.
Yeah. Santaris with another one surely coming in here. Does some damage to Twanu. Goes down to 65. And this is going to be incredibly hard to hold for LDLC. Santaris just making his way and has complete drop control. It's pretty much up to Mistu here. And he brings home the first one with the deagle. Can he take down the second one? Flash is going in for the T side. Let's see if he can make it happen.
So Space Soldier's actually going to give up on this B hit entirely. They know that there's a big stack here, so all of a sudden they're rounding it back. They're going to rely on Engine, of course, to clear things out. And while there is a rotation coming in from LDLC, it's not a fully decided one. Currently, it's only on to XMS. He knows it's on the way, so he's just called for his teammates to move back in. However, it's already a bit too late here. XMS is found in the open. It's going to be Tugux that takes him down. The final two are trying to spray in through the gap with the doorway here, but it's just not going to play out. It's too late. They didn't catch the rotation, and because of that, they're really not going to have any choice but to fall back and save in just a second here.
Yeah, still decent save for Mistu. He brings in an armor, an AK, and a deagle into the next round. Twano, of course, he has the deagle, so he could also be saving, but I would like him to try and secure some exit frags here. But with Space Shield, of course, rotating the correct way around, then it's probably not going to happen.
And again, no one from Space Soldiers having found either of these two yet, but Paz will find the encounter in a moment.
That's good.
Well, rip Mistu. He'll get clothesline there on the way down the steps. Taken down with a nice quick headshot. That's the rifle, too, which is the most important thing.
Exactly.
Tawny was just sitting back here trying to line up for one or two more kills that he could maybe catch these guys crossing out from the site, but doesn't happen. That's another bomb dud. What's happening?
Bomb just left the building. Just doesn't want to compete anymore.
Just doesn't want to be there, man.
Yeah.
Maybe he got confused for a clock. Reference game?
Reference game on point. So right now we will see the buy coming out of LDLC and them being behind 2 to 5. Then that is a beautiful deagle headshot. By
Nice
the way.
line up there.
They need this round to gain some momentum in this first half here because they did look incredibly strong in the game before. Now not so much. Space Soldiers also, of course, have been looking way nicer than they did in their first game. So that could be the difference as well.
So now as we take a look at Space Soldiers here and where exactly they're going to send this towards. Again, it's just that same default opener, but there's been no reason to change this. It's been working out great for them. It's LDLC that need to try and find some way to get the edge at the beginning of these rounds here. Aggression is always so tough to really measure and properly apply from the CT side on this map. Areas where you can really do it from or only over towards like A long and back over here on the platform. You try to do that counter boost and dropper once in a while, but it's always very, very risky to try and go for that, as it is in many cases. But if you can find those bouts of aggression and make them work for you successfully, you can end up with, at the very least, a big intel play to find where the hit is coming from, if not an additional kill or two, as it often catches the T's off guard.
So now 3 Molotovs remaining on that Space Soldier side as they still have to decide where they want to hit. They have one guy posted in drop room, and I think he's supposed to fake it onto that B bomb site and hold 3 to 4 players there while the rest of the team go hit long and hit that A bomb site. So right now we need the terrorists to pretty much go out and do this fake unless he's going to play the lurk role, which I suspect more and more as time goes on because currently the rotate has happened. So it's going to be 4 against 3 here on this bomb site here, and XMS once again in this huge position. He drops down, will be taken out by Despe. And now the lurk comes in from Santaris, and that was what I was talking about. Santaris' position to either go fake or go for the lurk. And he goes for the lurk, gets a kill, and, well, the round is pretty much won by now.
Twanu, yeah, picking up at least one find there, but already, again, the round is lost. This is like the second or third round in a row now where LDLC have had no choice but to save with the remaining players they've had. And even saving has become quite a problem area for them. And getting played with a little bit here, too, by Paz. He moves in. He spotted him. He's definitely not going to peek a second time against that up blindly. But he's buying time. Look at this, too. Engine's going to push in a moment. And, faked out by it. The flash now rolls in. And no, there's the reinforcements where Paz is finally going to be able to peek out confidently and take him down.
I love it when that fake flash works.
Twanu just outplayed there, dude.
Yeah, there's nothing.
And the best thing is Twanu's greedy about that. He wants to go for that kill, and all Paz is doing is buying time for his teammate to push in from the platform push, and he ends up getting the kill anyway. But
so here we go, 6-2 in favor of Space Soldiers, looking very nice. And the Death talked about it. We talked about it. Space Soldiers definitely fixed some of the problems that they had when we saw them last time around, and are actually looking really good here so far on Cobblestone. So kudos to them for fixing the problems so quickly. because right now it's looking great.
Yeah, so with the op gone down, there's going to be minimal investment from LDLC into this round. But again, the 4-man stack on B, another common theme so far from this half. Existence playing it close to broken, but
nice
that's a position that he certainly could have punished from here, but he's going to be pushed back. The good news is, has some stuff to toss back at these guys, although it is going to be counted out pretty quickly by Space Soldiers. They're out on the platform. That's actually a great nade on his Xanter. He's down to 27 HP after that one, so he's got to hold back a little bit here, but still hunting for that first kill. I think he knows no, he hasn't actually spotted it. Player boosted up on Trey. He's seen it now, though, and that's going to be Mistu being knocked out, pushing back Existence too, but Twanu peeking out there with the Deagle, finds the first kill. Alex has grabbed the second. They will trade onto him. That's Paz finding that one, but there's Twanu again with another one, shutting out Despy. Only 2 more to go, and he's still got 87 HP here at this point. Finally, they take him down, but all of a sudden, XMS is here. 1 more to go, and Tuguk is out in the open. Also lost the bomb, too. It's back over by Broken currently. He's got to try to navigate over there, but all of a sudden, he's got to play this very, very cautiously with both of those Eagles still in action, and him already down at 58 HP. He's retrieved the bomb. It looked like he wanted to jump back up on a Broken, or at the very least fake the noise a little bit, so they look towards that on the peak, and now creeps his way slowly out. But this is where it's going to be tough on this initial cross. Thankfully, no one from LDLC takes the bait. Nobody goes out to look for it, and he gets the angle advantage, but no! He doesn't even get that kill. The push comes in, and Existence is going to shut it down with the 5-7. LDLC with a huge upset on that round. They're bringing it back now.
All they needed was Deagles, man. All they needed was Deagles. That was insane. That was absolutely insane. Very well played from LDLC. Getting such a big return out of a round with so little investment. And then we just go Twanu just with the Wonder Deagle. Amazing from him.
So with that, it will allow these guys to get back into the game. And Space Soldiers now again, however, back up to a bye, but it has re-enabled LDLC's chances here too to bring things back a little bit on this CT side. And again, favoring a heavy stack towards the B-bomb site. A bit of a shift away from it, however, as they've kept Existence over there by the A doors, and they're going to pull XMS back actually pretty early this time around. Normally he's been keen on kind of pushing out. We got this counter boost from Alex too, and he had a chance to find Xantries a moment ago, and he's going to fully commit to this actually.
Yeah, Santaris has not spotted him.
Going to be ready for it here, but Alex, he gets the kill. 6 HP, however, so that will be an easy trade for Engine to find when he pushes back out there to take his teammate's place.
Yeah, very important with the revenge frags there. Works out in the end for Engine. He gets that revenge frag. But we talked about it so much, like hitting positions and places and sites in that 2-man team when you're trying to battle. So if you lose that initial duel, your teammate can pick it up afterwards with an almost 100% success rate. And that's what works out really there for Engine. Getting that revenge frag in, and now the B bomb side has almost been taken. Tuguk goes for the bomb plant, and the bomb will go down.
Smoke still works out in his favor too, but there's a flank coming in all of a sudden. Paz is spotted though, nicely done. Immediately grabs a headshot onto Existence, and there's chaos inside, but Engine somehow picking up these kills left and right there. Finds Mistu, takes him down, survives the encounter, and it falls to XMS. But look at this from XMS. Oh, it looked like he was going to be sneaky there for a moment, but yeah. Paz does find him and knocks him out of the equation.
Good job at past that round, just playing it perfectly. Currently sitting at 10 frags, and Engine does so as well in our featured matchup here. But XMS, 13-7 from him, not a bad scoreline. But Engine, once again, a support player playing with a 2.63 KDR. That's pretty solid.
That's quite an impressive one there from Engine. You mentioned it before, quite a few rounds back, about how he's the huge part of this team right now, and you know, one of the few impact fraggers consistently coming out so far from Space Soldiers.
Yeah.
And with a stat like that, it certainly lends credence to that point.
So Tuguk here tried to go for an opener, but no one really committed to any positions he could peek. Right now we're seeing Twanu on the AWP, the rest of the team forcing up on pistols, apart from Existence, of course, once again taking this role where he drops pistols to his teammates. So he runs on the P250 and one flashbang and no armor, and sets his team up to do the work.
So LDLC again set up to defend this one. Despy being a little bit cautious of the guys that may have been boosted up over there behind the box. They won't find it, but the resistance they've met here and the consistent pattern of defense there on that B bomb set is finally going to be enough to send them packing the other direction here. They'll head it over towards the A bomb set unless we see a rotation soon. And Space Soldiers will, for the most part, be able to walk right in there, only having XMS to resist. And he's already been hit a little bit there, losing a quarter of his HP.
And as you say that, they actually make the rotation happen. 2 players now rotating. And, well, it's pretty much because they know, okay, we have not seen anything so far on B. We'll have to gamble on an A push. And the most important thing is that we have Twanu there. And Twanu is the one with the weapon, with the armor as well. And he goes for the aggressive peek. Not sure if I like this. Big balls play, but he will be shot down by Santaris now. The rest of the team can open up into this bomb site. The CTs are there, but the equipment on them is not up to par.
Now we see Mr. Grabbing 2 quick kills there, so all of a sudden it looks like these rounds are secure, but it goes back on its heels again, falls to existence, but thankfully the last 2 players alive from Space Soldiers managed that round without too much issue. They find their 8th, and again LDLC falls behind. Have to go on to another save round here. Their money is just absolutely not there right now, and finally a pause is going to be called, I should say, from LDLC here.
Yeah. What you're going to see on your screen in 2 seconds is probably a video feed of Existence just talking and everyone on the team just not saying anything, because that is what they really need right now. They need to be absolutely sure of how they play their rotations, how they take their opening battles, what kind of positions they take, and Existence will be the one telling everyone how that's going to happen.
Again, you can see it on the scoreboard now. Zentry is not necessarily the big player for this team at the moment. As we look over to LDLC, says obviously XNS again still leading the way by a very, very big margin. But over here on Space Soldiers, not only Engine, but Tugux as well is having a pretty good performance here, leading the way for his team currently.
Yeah, 3-8 is the scoreline. We are resuming the game now. Of course, this will be an eco coming out from LDLC, so not much to expect from them. It will be 9-3, but then LDLC will have the bye again. And that will be when things start to get interesting.
So now again, they will still be playing to the initial default split in LDLC. Not a lot of, again, there's not a lot of innovation in terms of their CT side. They're not really trying to do anything different here to counter out Space Soldiers. It's still that same 4-man stack on the B-bomb site and sending XMS over here into the suicide steps. Just really anywhere, either, anywhere outward from the A-bomb site to try and act as an early spotter in the event they try to hit towards the A site.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't think this is the round they need to be. Of course, you always need to be innovative when playing CS, but it's the next round that's going to be really important. So this is just basically Existence saying, yeah, just play like we did last round. That's not really that important with the investment we went into this one. Don't really think about it too much, because also, if you're constantly thinking about the rounds you lose, you're not going to have confidence going into the rounds you really need to win. This is not a very important one for LDC. The next one is going to be their focus. But, of course, then again, if you can get some frags, if you can get close to a round win, that's always nice.
Space Soldiers just slowly and methodically clearing things out here towards drop. They're not ones to go in if they don't feel they're prepared to engage into the site. So again, you can just see how tactically this is being taken here, making sure they have players watching every single angle on the way. But of course, it is Xantares leading the way as it's part of the course here. As he moves in, there's a lot of attention put over there into the dropper, but the problem is because they've been so quiet, Xantares is going to walk in and he catches Mistu, whose job was not to watch this position. It fell mainly to Alex. Now he's going to push out, finds the second one, tries to do the 180 for the third, but it is shut out by XMS. Engine and Paz, though, shut out the last 2, and then Tugux coming in there with the 5th and final frag, gives Space Soldiers their 9th. And as you mentioned previously, now is hopefully when we see that adaptation that the pause was called for, which will hopefully net a few more rounds here from LDLC before the end of the half.
One thing that I'm noting is that the economy was actually not as good as I thought, which means that LDLC will lack utility on most of the players. We see only a smoke on Tuanu, it's a flashbang smoke on both of the guys, and what they really want is a full setup where they also have the Molotovs available to shut down early access of areas and map control and stuff like that, but that is not going to be the case. So this is not as good as they hoped for LDLC.
So with them stacking 3 on B again, and having Existence kind of as the leeway player back over there by the doors, taking the lighter path to it, but again, this aligns with pretty much every single gun round so far on the CT side. Space Soldier's already dropping in, and Xantares, nobody knows he's in here right now. He's going to creep right up over here to the doorway. Existence has no clue. He's got to be cautious, though, just in case somebody moves in to check. But no gun out at all. It's going to be a free kill for Xantares, and that has split the gates wide open. And he even spinning around there to find Alex when he tries to wrap back into. The only thing that can throw them off at this point is going to be XMS. But he's been the consistent player, so they're probably going to look for him on the way in, since he's almost always playing out towards A, and there you have it. Paz looks into that alleyway, takes him down, and Xantares just styling over here now, makes the fatal mistake of switching over to his knife, thinking he's clear, but it's all on Mistu, and he takes so much damage spraying into that doorway, down to 11 HP after that nade hits him. This is going to be another round that Space Soldiers walk over, thanks to mainly, of course, over there to Xantares.
Wow, that was just basically LDLC getting wrecked, to be honest. Xantares just take it. Oh, we have a short break here, but just to reiterate, Santaris getting into that position, you mentioned it, that is key, because he can, first of all, get the free frag, but he also holds map control in the connector that really connects the two bomb sites, and just hold that position and making sure that if a rotation happens, he's going to know about it, he's probably going to get the kill as well, and his teammates can just hit whatever side they want.
So Zentry's, you could see him getting back up onto the scoreboard there pretty quickly from comparing it to our last pause where he was kind of floating behind a bit.
Yeah.
Up at the front now, him and Paz along with Engine and Tugix all having good performances so far. But I think that was another immediate pause called by the LDLC captain there after that unfortunate flank ends up kind of wrecking them in that last round.
Yeah, and Existence just saying like, I'm not even going to talk, I'm just going to run. He just ran away. Just gave them a few seconds to think about what they've done wrong in the last couple of rounds, which technically is not a bad thing. I like when you have these timeouts available. This is not a tactical timeout, by the way. That was kind of a jokey. I think he just had to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
But you have these timeouts available. You can use them to not just make sure what happens in the next round, but to just take a breather. Because as a team leader, you'll know when things are going too quick. And people are getting hesitant and really just doing things that they normally wouldn't be doing. So just take a breather and just relax and go into the next round.
Yep. Well, we'll hopefully be getting on pause in a moment here, but Space Soldiers certainly have made up for their faults on their T side from when they were playing up against alternate attacks earlier. And if the CT side remains anywhere close to as strong as it was, in theory, this should be a quick closeout for these guys. Once again, kind of making a fool of the desk and us.
Yes.
We convinced Machine to come over to our side of the table, and then now it's like bitten back horribly for him.
Yeah, he's not going to trust us ever again.
Well, now nobody's perfect, so we're all on an even footing. Is the good news. That assumes, of course, we're calling it a bit early. That assumes that Space Soldiers would win this match.
My belief in the Church of Existence is strong.
We've already seen 2 huge comebacks here, so if it goes the way of the last 2 maps, wouldn't it be the exact same thing if LDLC win these last 2 rounds? I mean, this is a long shot here with this buy, but
and XMS already being on 36 HP, but we believe. No, but on the real, Space Soldiers have been insanely good and improved a lot since the game that we just saw a few hours ago on this T side here in Cobblestone. So I have to give them mad props. That's been insane to see how they went from not a very good T side, let's just call it that, and then into a great T side here.
Xanter is again hunting back over a top of drop here. He's seen Alex a second ago, but judging from the current track record here with entries in this drop room, I don't think anybody wants to directly challenge it. Existence playing with Despy a little bit there, baits out the shot. Again, however, that restricts another area for the CTs to go into. I doubt anyone's going to want to challenge that since they don't have any utility to block him off.
Santaris here trying to open this one up for his teammate. Molotov goes down. Of course, Existence is not in that position. Counter Flash pops in, and this will be the start of the B push. I'm pretty sure 2 CT players around. It's going to be Existence and Alex, I think, on this B bomb. So the rest are rotating now, so they know the push is going to come in from the C side. Will they do any damage before that bomb goes down? That is a question.
Sancher is really trying to get Existence out from behind that statue there, but all the attention being drawn to that. Look at Alex, he's just going to walk right up the alleyway there. Thankfully, it's a quick trade from Paz, but as Paz moves up here, he's looking for even more, and now is when things fall apart for the LDLC roster. Unfortunately for their fans, it's down to XMS on the site, but that won't even last long. Engine grabs the last kill, and Space Soldiers go up 11-3, and that breaks the 10-5 streak that we've had for the last 2 maps.
Yes.
Which basically means RIP LDLC.
RIP LDLC. Also, of course, this is the last round, but look at how well Space Soldiers have managed their money throughout this. Of course, I know they're leading, but some of these rounds have been very close to pop from the eco, so with them having all this money to spare, it's just showing that they know exactly what they're doing economy-wise. On the other side of LDLC, they have money to buy all that they need. We saw a few rounds ago where they had this buy round that was not sufficient in equipment, and now they have what they need.
And just jumping right in there too, but they haven't spotted that player on the left there. Alex is going to grab the kill. Twanu on the steps. I'm not sure how they didn't see him. Twanu is still alive and well, and all of a sudden he's impacting with the op. A quick end to that will be found, however, from Despy as he takes down Twanu, but they're abandoning this. This has gone horribly wrong, and they've got to fall back and reevaluate.
Yeah, definitely. Now they have to think about, okay, what do we do now? Do we go for straight going to A, or do we go for the double fake and hit B once again? Because no matter what, with this waiting, they're going to create a situation where the CTs have to play 2-2. But Existence, I don't know why Centaurus is peeking there, to be honest. Existence catches him off guard because, of course, he has to hold drop. Centaurus looked at the wrong angle. Existence just getting in there with a frag, and now it's all of a sudden a 2 against 4 situation. But then again, as I said, it's going to be 2-2 from the CT splitting up, so it's going to be a 2v2 duel to get that bomb site to begin with, and that is doable for Space Soldiers.
Moving in here now, it's going to be Despy along with Chugux looking for that first kill. They can't get it though. Mistu is tucked away very nicely, sitting over here behind the wall area, wasting so much time too for the rotations to bite back in from that A bomb site. They're here. Space Soldiers, I really don't think they have enough time or even the room to fall back here. They're kind of put themselves between a rock and a hard place, and now they're stuck into this plan. They've lost the bomb to Existence. Despy turning out 1 kill, looking for the second one, having a duck away, still at full HP, however. But again, only has that smoke, no flashbangs or anything. Try and mess these guys up here. He's been found out of the corner, but hold on now. Despy's going to be able to find another pickup here against Alex. He knows where at least one of these final 2 are still positioned. Existence is the one player that he isn't aware of yet. Gets that kill, and actually no, he doesn't. Existence is going to be able to trade it out, and we will see another round going up on the board from LDLC just as the half concludes.
So there we go, 4-11. Pretty one-sided affair, to be honest. Space Soldiers did look very dominant on the C side. So the question is, can they take the pistol now and decide this quickly, or are we going to have the same scenarios we had a bunch of times where the team who lost the first half comes back into the game and brings us to almost 30 rounds each time?
LDLC going over to the T side now. Certainly going to hopefully show us a little bit more of what Existence can bring to the table.
Yeah.
Oftentimes you can see the T's be rather limited depending on the caliber of team that's playing there and just be forced into constant B-hits. I mean, to a certain degree, we saw that with Space Soldiers there since they played that same default every time and kind of just played it by ear with regards to where they would take their hit towards here. So we'll have to see if Existence brings anything else to the table that would kind of throw off the Turkish team. But we'll get into it pretty quickly, it seems.
Yeah, so here we go, second half is starting. Once again, the way that LDLC sets up on the pistol is that every team member buys a small armor, and then Existence will be the one with 2 flashbangs and a smoke. And then they'll do pretty much a set execute onto one of the bomb sites. Right now it's looking like B, and as that flashbang goes over, surely it's going to be that bomb site. Smoke goes down here as well, so now we know where it's going to be. Take drop control first, but when Paz is in form, no strategy matters, and he just picks up frags left, right, and center. 2 already in his account. Can grab a 3rd as well. It's going to be all on Tuanu, and he's just going to die.
Well, he picks up 1 kill. Give him some credit.
That is true. 1 kill. Congratulations. The round is still lost.
Bit of a consolation prize. Yeah, now you're in probably the worst position you could possibly be in here. It's going to be 12-4. In theory, so long as there isn't a second round upset coming in from LDLC here, that's going to put it up to pretty much like 14-4, and you're going to have to win 10 rounds straight, not letting your opponents win a single one there if you want to have any realistic hope of still being able to round a comeback there. So they're up against the wall, and they need to try and force up into this one to keep the scoreline relatively close.
So right now, of course, we see once again Tugux with the Max 7 in drop zone. As we usually see, we have one player facing middle pretty aggressively, and then one player playing very defensively on that A-bomb side, which is probably where we're going to see the action. Mistu's probably going to go in and do some kind of fake to keep all 3 players on that B-bomb side, while the rest of his team is going to hit along. Despy is actually almost in the rotate, and that will actually catch them off guard, because they were thinking about rotating, and as they step out, the terrorists rush in. That was perfect from LDLC.
And now, all of a sudden, they may have that chance to keep themselves in the game. However, mistakes like that can certainly be punished very easily. Xantary's finding that kill. He still has to deal with Alex down below, however. He's been given no indication that he's hiding out here. And this is a player that can put it all to bed. But Tuguk saves his teammate there with the shotgun. XMS lurking, though, sneaky up onto the balcony. Finds those 2 kills. It falls to Paz. He's in a 1v2. He's going to have to move in very quickly. That bomb's very quickly ticking itself away here. He's been found. He's cornered. And at 6 HP, it'll be an easy closeout for XMS. LDLC have done it. They've survived, and now they have a chance to get back into this game.
Ace by XMS. Just
nicely played.
Absolutely wrecking Space Soldiers there. And I love the fact that LDLC read completely when they have to push in. The timing was perfect. The CTs were just about to think, okay, we're going to rotate to B. Boom, they get hit by 2 Tech 9s. That's just perfect from them. LDLC now having a chance to bring it back into this one. Of course, we're going to see a big deal round coming up for Space Soldiers on the CT side.
Taking a look here at Space Soldiers. They've actually taken a page out of LDLC, and they're doing the same 4-1 split that we saw played quite a bit back on that CT side here early on. Not a lot of investments rolling in as they just pretty much buy out everything they can here. But even so, it's a bit underwhelming. The 2 deagles, the 5-7s across the board. Utility is not looking that great either. 3 flashbangs. Quite a bit of it's already been used too, as you can see, down to 2 now, and a single HG grenade sitting on Paz. And LDLC. Oh! Alex! The Juan tap as he moves in. It's not even with a deagle. With an M4, it destroys Engine as he gets knocked out of there pretty quickly. There's flanks attempting to roll in from Space Soldiers, but all this has been found out pretty quickly. Existence with 2 quick kills. XMS finding another one for himself, and Xantries as the last one standing here. He's going to sit and wait, see if he catch anyone pushing into the shed, but it will not be the case. A flawless round from LDLC, and they go up 6-12.
And that is great for them getting some confidence back in. Of course, economy-wise, also great for them saving all the rifles as well. The MAC-10 and the MP7 not really going to matter that much, but still, it's great to bring that economy into the next round. XMS is sitting on 5.5k right now, so that is good from him. On the other side, Space Soldiers are going to be ecoing this one. We see them, of course, always buying around that 2k, down to that 2k mark, which means they will be able to buy in the next one.
Again, the opening split from LDLC, sending quite a few of their players over towards B, but it echoes a lot of the usual stuff here for this T side. It's the default opener. We've got that one player aggressing from Space Soldiers. They're on another eco, and again, they've been another 4-1 split. Keeping most of their players here on B.
And a bunch of utility wasted by XMS on one position, which doesn't really pay off. But when they're playing against an eco, okay, you can take rounds like that and do stuff like that, which generally isn't really worth, but because they just play so safe, it's going to be worth in the end. They're going to win a safe round nonetheless. Twanu picks up. Oh, that's good by Paz, and a bunch of damage onto the next one as well. That's perfect from him, but still no entry to either bomb site for the T's.
Alex sitting down at 69 HP after that bit of an exchange there too. The good shots coming in from Paz. He's able to retrieve an SMG too, so has something more to try and work with. But ultimately, LDLC still have great control of the B bomb center already before they've even really started the big engagement here. Xantries is going to look to peek out and find something against these guys. It's actually Engine that grabs the kill, but at the same time they lose 2 cooks pretty quickly after this one. And Xantries still hunting, but to be found. Paz is going to arrive here, maybe a little bit too late. As I say that, though, he picks up one more kill. He's got this down to a 1v2, and he's upgraded to an AK, but no armor, no utility. This is where it gets tough.
So here we see positions of both of the turrets. Of course, as you said, no utility, so he can't just use the flashbang to push himself into this bomb site. He has to clear with 1 kill and then move on to the next one. He will get the opener onto Mistu, not the second one. XMS, what was that? And that concludes the round. LDLC very close, on the brink of defeat in that one, still brings it back though.
4 HP on XMS at the end of that one, and he almost takes him down. That split-second reaction that rolls out there too from the last man standing from Space Soldiers almost allows it to work. It does not play out towards the end of it, and with that, LDLC, they're well on their way. 5 rounds behind, still a bit of a climb to go, but as long as they can stop Space Soldiers from going on a bit of a streak themselves, they're in good terms to round the comeback. Yeah. Much like our last 2 maps.
Yeah, it's only 5 rounds. 5 rounds, of course, is a lot in a CS game, but still has been way worse for them. They now have the confidence that this can actually happen due to the last 2 to 3 rounds where LDLC have been playing really well. So this is definitely a possibility. And look at that, Twanu, who has not been doing well so far in this game, opens things up with a rather, well, weird angle with the AWP.
Neither of the offers have really been finding a lot of their impact, unfortunately. Paz, however, has, and he's going to pick up 2 quick kills as Twanu misses a very important shot. That's immediately sent things back, spiraling into the control of Space Soldiers, and his Engine peeks out from Chicken Coop. He's going to grab 1 more to his name with Paz's, I believe that's his 3rd on the round here. It's brought down to Alex, who was lurking over towards the A bomb site, but he's been surrounded. He's got the bomb in hand. He'll attempt to make an entry onto B, but things are certainly not looking great.
Well, he spots the head of Engine, I think, over that smoke, and now, well, he knows the position of one of the players, but the rest of the team just knows where he is. And yeah, there we go. 13-7 is going to be the score line. LDLC looking strapped for cash, apart from XMS, who has plenty of money. So they're going to go for, well, basically this weird force buy where XMS is going to have full setup, but the rest of the team are going to be on Tech 9s.
And you can see their paths starting off the sort of dismantlement of the hit there that comes out from those guys. So some good stuff from Space Soldiers. It prevents LDLC from just rounding a straight comeback, and of course now the last really big investment from LDLC comes in here before they are forced to eco. Brought down on the Tech 9s mainly. Alex still having the AK in hand, along with XMS, but he'll be limited on utility. And overall across the board here, for those that didn't go for that immediate downgrade or save, they're also going to be somewhat limited. All of their smokes have already been used, and I mean, they're throwing everything out there. They're just going to go for direct B and see what works.
see here. Frags are traded. Existence takes one down. That's a good start for them. Existence with the second one picked up the AK as well. And got that frag. Engine hiding at Chicken Coop, gets one more pushing him. Can he hold it? He holds it down. Engine playing so well right now, but Existence finally locking it down. 4 frags from Existence. Can he make the ace happen? It's so close for him, but he will get barbecued. No, he won't. Twanu saves him, and that is the round.
Does steal the ace, though. Unfortunate.
That's how it is sometimes. But Existence, he's a great god, so he'll benevolent god. He'll say, okay, it's no worries.
Gotta let Twanu have something.
You gotta let him have something.
He's been lagging behind a little bit on this game. But yeah, that was again, Existence really saves it there. It was looking like I said at the beginning, they used all of their utility to get into the site to start this hit, and it looks like it kind of slows itself down there too. Like they're having trouble getting beyond the broken wall, which is always that big contention point. They're hesitant, they aren't finding any of these kills, but then all of a sudden Existence just kind of explodes out onto the site and changes that to a huge degree, and once again has reignited this comeback.
Yeah, exactly. XMS start things off with a frag onto Engine through that smoke there. Of course, this is going to be a full eco from Space Soldiers, so not that they expect much from this round, to be honest. If they can get a couple frags, deny some economy for LDLC, that's going to be great for them, but it's not something that they're counting on.
Well, Xantares is going to push himself up here too. Joining with his teammate has been kept quite well and alive back over there inside of the little cubby. Existence, however, waiting, manages to find Despy, taking him down. Just pretty much textbook elimination at this point. Finding the guys that are getting too aggressive, and well, there's going to be another one there. It is going to be Xantares moving in, and all Existence tired of waiting. Just decides to leap in, kind of steals the kill away again, but we'll knock out Xantares, and Paz will be the last man up and running here in the cubby. Shock factor may allow him to grab this one kill here, but now they know exactly where he's playing from, and it's not like he can move that quickly, so he'll go out into the open since the Molotov forces him to. In Existence, we'll find yet another kill. 3K on this round for him.
Yeah, 9-13. Existence and LDLC slowly getting back into it. 4 rounds away now. Space Soldiers have been, in the rounds that they've won, they have been looking very nice. In the rounds that they've lost, they've looked very disorganized. So this is a question of what kind of Space Soldiers fields in this next couple of rounds. Who goes out and who steps up?
Well, again, the default split comes out here from both teams. Nothing crazy really from LDLC in terms of their T side. They may be kicking up the aggression a little bit here, and actually missed it. Look at this, already in the drop. Nobody's defending. He just walks right out there. Finds not one but 2 of the players from Space Soldiers. That's Tugix and Engine both gone down. Paz responding, but XMS quick to jump up on the wall there and be able to catch the trade. With Twanu picking up one more as well against Despy. It's left to Xantares, and he's also not going to last long at all. LDLC with a shutdown there, kicking up the aggression big time. Still, we're going at it like they were setting up a default, but then all of a sudden they just roll right into the bomb site.
Good decision to take a pause here from Space Soldiers. They are still in the lead, or they will be in the lead with 13-11 because they're not going to win this round here. But they're going to be in the lead 13-11 with a bye coming up. And this is why they're taking the pause. They're going to find out, okay, what are we going to do on that bye? How do we secure the 14th round for ourselves? And how do we stop this momentum from LDLC right now? Because they are looking hot.
Yeah, the most that we are going to see in this investment from Space Soldiers is just going to be an upgraded pistol or 2. Paz is in an okay spot to try and afford, like, maybe armor behind his, but even then that'll be forcing it down a bit. And again, it's become a bit of a one-sided affair now, specifically when you look at Space Soldiers' individual performances. Xantares has kind of dropped off the radar a little bit since the first half there. Paz has been picking up all the kills, as we can see. Despy, I mean, we haven't really seen much from so far in this entire match, to be completely honest. He really needs to kind of try and step things up. The off presence overall from Space Soldiers has been fairly non-existent in this map.
That is true. On the other hand, we do have, of course, XMS with 24 and Paz with 27, I think it was, on something like that. So 2 players just carrying their teams throughout this game, and well, Space Soldiers not going to win this one, surely, but the next one will hopefully bring glory for the Turkish guys.
Paz again sitting here waiting for the pushes to roll in, but he's already been hit a little bit due to pre-fire now, being brought down to 43 HP, and it's almost caught by it again, as you can hear.
Oh!
XMS finds the headshot there. He was hunting for it. He got him down to 43 HP, but finally nets the headshot and takes him out there. A nice little early kill for the guys on LDLC. And it's certainly not looking good for the rest of this round for Space Soldiers.
So the deagle on Engine will probably be the best choice or the best chance, and that is just taken out, as I say it mid-sentence. So not much really left to hope for Space Soldiers here. 3 P250s against AKs fully geared up. They can hope for some good positioning like the one Xantares has here. where they're not going to notice him until he can get the kill, but that doesn't matter. Well, team kill comes in from Twanu. No worries. Despe now with the P250 and pretty much just a dream because there's no way he's going to clutch this one.
Yeah, Despe falling back there. Bit of a stat race in this round there, so that's the price XMS pays for that one. See, trying to jump in front of his teammate, trying to stop him from getting the kill. A little bit dirty. Twanu's not having any of that. Get in the way.
Sit down.
Get in
this
the way.
is my
I'm
kill.
taking your life.
Oh well. Twanu with the double in this round here as well, apart from that. And it will be, as we predicted, 11 rounds for LDLC. And actually, Despe comes in with a kill. And I did not expect LDLC to throw weapons away like that, to be honest.
Yeah, Despe, thankfully for LDLC's sake, will not actually be able to retrieve that gun. He's basically just going to fall away. And again, only ends up making it out of this round with the P250. So, escaping the worst of it, but still forcing those rebuys. The good news is, of course, they're on a huge streak right now, so with the exception of, ironically enough, XMS there, everybody else is in a good enough position to be able to afford rebuys.
Yeah, they decided... Oh, look at that shot. Wow.
I think it jumped into that.
Yeah. That's the most insane part, is that it's not really a sick play. He just randomly one taps the smoke and the CT jumps into his crosshair. That's so unlucky for the CT.
So, a bit unfortunate. But again, eco rounds, so you can't really count that too high a regard there. Kind of just going to brush those off and take it into the next round. Space Soldiers, though, again, the same default stack. A little bit heavier over to the A-stage. They kind of keep the floater there. However, it looks like Xantry's may find himself a bit of a fight this time.
Yeah.
Back over outside towards A-long. There's two players pushing in. May try to poke it a little bit. And he hasn't fallen back, and well, that's going to be his mistake. As Twanu will pick up the kill.
Yeah, so already now a big advantage for LDLC. Arguably the best fragger on Space Soldiers dead. They have map control, they have that one-man advantage, and Despe, who's on that AWP, has no utility and no armor either, so it's going to be a very, very hard round for Space Soldiers, and they're going to need to summon their inner strength in order to take this one back.
Despe looking to see here, and he gets in on a perfect timing. Peeking in there, finds Existence to be able to take him down. Finding some hope at the very least for Space Soldiers, but now he's got to be careful of the A-long pressure too. It's rolling in. He's been hit by the flashbang and allows for the cross, but Twanu goes out into the open, and that's where the punishment is going to come in. He knows a second guy escaped over here into the alleyway, but he has not been able to get a clear shot onto him just as of yet. That's Alex, who is kind of stuck in a corner, though, is the problem. But Mistu is going to try to bust that open a little bit there. He's found Engine. Look at this from Despe. There's the confidence plays missing. Moves in, finds the first kill, misses the opportunity to find a second, but XMS having to look every which way. Manages to finish off Despe, but there's a lot more to go here, and he's the one that's in the heat of the action. Currently, Mistu's nowhere near any of this, and he's got the bomb in hand. Only 20 seconds left on the clock, too. He cannot sit around and wait for Mistu. Tries to take the opportunity, but it does not work out. Tugux is going to take him down, and as Mistu rotates in, he'll try his best at this. With 9 HP and a 1v2, this will be very, very tough to clutch. The smoke's even in the way. Bringing down the time even more. He's definitely not going to plant now, and nicely done. Dodged that last CT over there. Paz is going to jump right out, take him down, and Tugux doesn't want anything to do with that. He's a pacifist, and he just hides in the smoke.
But to be honest, it's both good and bad this round for Space Soldiers because they get Despe back. Despe's now back on the server. He knows how to hit shots again. But then again, the reason they won this round was because of this one action that Despe did. It's not like they've been playing way better as a team in this round than the last 4. It's just that one player who just steps up and gets a triple kill. So hopefully they can use the momentum that Despe now has to bring him into a position where he could do the same in the next one and then secure them the 15th because... Well, I need to see something more in order for me to say that they're back on the server again.
Absolutely. Single rounds are not going to necessarily redeem you there. As Mistu jumps down in front of the chicken ramp. That is weird how they always do that.
Yeah.
Chickens are weirdly coded on this map.
Chickens are just weird and
they just float on the walls, apparently. Despe is going to find the kill there against XMS to start it off, and here we go. Yep, I think he's back on the server now. 2 kills for him. Paz rolling up. They'll get a 1-for-1 trade. That doesn't really matter that they lose one of their guys after Despe picked up this 2 for free. Twanu, though, with a nice find. Knocks out Despe, and with a bell of confidence, he tried to push in there a little bit. He's going to decide to push directly through an Existence moving in. Try to catch any player that may be waiting to knock out guys in the cross, but he's not going to check that corner. Oh no! Xantry's popping out all of a sudden, rounds this one back onto its heels, and it's left to Twanu in a 1v3.
It's funny because Despe and Twanu were the guys who were not fragging a lot in the first 60% of this game, and now in the end of it, we have a round where they are the difference makers for both teams. Sadly for Existence, he forgets to check that back corner, goes straight for the quick plant and just gets destroyed pretty much, and leaves Twanu in an impossible scenario where he just cannot win. And that is going to be round number 15 for Space Soldiers. And now I can say, they're back, guys. They're back. No worries.
LDLC at the end of their rope here, too. The buy from them is not even really going to be that great. And again, you can see it, too. It's still XMS being the heavyweight here. Granted, it's not going to Paz doing that for Space Soldiers, too. But we've been seeing a more consistent stride from a lot of their guys. Tuguk's kind of weighing off a little bit there, but like Engine, Despy, and Xantares still showing up, and that's making enough here for these guys to be able to take control of it. But as you see, though, LDLC, they're by 2 Tech 9s in the mix to be able to add that extra utility, only 3 AKs, and they're just going to make a direct play towards B, judging from the early looks of things here.
Yeah, they're going to do this B play where they just throw in all the utility and then just push it in something like 10 seconds or something. Then they're going to see if they can brute force the side. Luckily for Space Soldiers, they have the read on this. They have 3 players on that CT on that B side, and the 4th player is rotating into drop as well, or can rotate in 2 or 3 seconds. So they have the optimal setup.
They're moving in now. Xantares sitting back here waiting. He's going to catch that first kill there. Finds XMS. Existence being able to trade that back down, and Existence again slowly creeping up here too, but he's taking a lot of damage from the Molotov, and he's got to be careful of the op peeking back out. That's Engine dipping away from the smoke. Finds Mistu. He'll look for more in a moment here, and Paz leaping over too. He's lost Engine. Paz doesn't realize though that there is an opponent sitting just below the smoke in front of him. Existence finding that pickup there. Tugux and Despy still trying to bring this back. Tugux going to push out, but he's missed his opponent. Despy is there for the trade. Brings it into a 1 versus 1 now. It's Tuanu versus Despy to possibly decide the match, and obviously Tuanu's going to take things very, very cautiously due to that fact in play. Look at how aggressive he's taking it though, but it goes right into the op, and with that, Despy's going to shut it down. Space Soldiers take control of this matchup. 16-11 is going to be the final score, and they move out of the group into the semifinals.
That was beautiful by Despy. He had such a tough game in the first half, and in the first half of the second half as well. He was not hitting his shots at all. He didn't even have money for orbs most of the rounds. And then in the last couple of rounds, where everything matters, where LDLC starts getting the momentum, and it's getting really hard for the guys at Space Soldiers. He shows up, he gets 2 or 3 frags every single round, 3 or 4 rounds in a row, and that is Despy when you need him.
Yep, so Despy finally showing himself up there for those last few rounds, right when it was needed to, right when the guys from LDLC kind of were on the brink of a comeback. And because of that, obviously, we see them being able to come out victoriously. It was that one little missing piece. It was the op power that we didn't really see for the rest of the match, but it shows up there finally, and it does allow them to find those couple of closing rounds.
Yeah, definitely. Kudos to Space Soldiers for getting that victory, and they are now in the playoff bracket, and they are going to take that first place in the group, which means they will face number 2 from the other group, which of course is not decided yet. What do you think about that, guys?
We think that I should have stuck to my guns. Damn it! Predictions then do go awry. I think everyone, all 5 of us, said that LDLC were going to be picking that one up.
Yep.
Yes.
Space Soldiers take it, and it was a very mighty roar. I don't know if you can hear it in your casting booth, but we over here could definitely hear a lot of noise coming from the Turkish side. Could you hear it?
Definitely. We have an open door, so we can hear everything.
I think we hear the other group. We could see that at the very least.
Yeah,
player
yeah,
Oh
counts,
yeah, you might be hearing the Group B that's going on.
Yeah. There was some table smashing, like the good kind.
It was loud
Yeah, like
table smashing.
yeah.
I
Positive
thought.
vibes.
Did you guys start feeling LDLC might be coming back into that one? I was starting to get nervous for Space Soldiers.
I mean, absolutely. We saw the big performance drop-offs there from a lot of the guys that were present in the first half, but like us two mentioned before we brought you guys into the conversation there, it was really Despy that brings it back in those last few rounds. That's kind of his heroics. Finally, someone else stepping up to the table for Space Soldiers that allows them to pick up those last few rounds.
Yeah, the way you described it was missing piece, Blue. Thank you very much. I like that. The missing piece that was Despy. I'll be talking now to Vendetta and Natu, and it was like he just came alive. Those last 3 rounds take Space Soldiers home across the line.
That was really the big difference maker because we saw, well, it's like you said, or asked, we're starting to believe.
I was. Yeah.
I was believing the entire time.
Kevin.
Yeah, exactly. Sadly, first half didn't have a lot of Kevins.
No,
definitely not.
But he did come alive on that T side as much as pretty much the entire team did in a large way. But still, they had some pretty grave mistakes on their T side, even though they managed to pick up round after round after round. The most significant, probably in my opinion, was I think it was a 2v3 situation with Mistu and XMS.
Yeah.
Mistu playing the backstab roll, ends up finding 1 frag, but then decides to take the long rotation around the entire map, which is a pretty hefty walk on Cobble, and that ends up putting XMS in a pretty much unwinnable situation, and that's kind of what allows Space Soldiers to get back into things after having, a barrage having gone at them for the better part of that second half.
And in the pre-match, Natu, we sat there and said Space Soldiers need to make their T-side look better. They go drop 10 rounds in T-side. Where did it come from?
This looked like a much more traditional Cobble game to me.
Yeah.
T-sided rounds, and they definitely sustained. They survived the aggressiveness, and they were the ones dictating the pace for the most of it. towards the tail end of the game, so many battles on that B bomb side. It came to a lot of 2-on-2s, a lot of clutch situations. And again, another great example of if you manage to have a CT alive on Chicken Coop, it is very hard to retake that take that B bomb side. No, honestly, it is.
Yeah.
It's that if that angle is still there, it's super hard to take that bomb side.
Yeah, and they did just stroll in at various intervals. Again, it wasn't just the Xantares show, which I think is a big relief to any Space Soldier fans out there, who are in a prime position now. They are in the semi-final. They are one best of 3 away from getting to that major qualifier, and that is, I mean, that's the dream.
Well, I think 2, right? Because they have to. It's a double elimination we're doing, right? So.
Yeah, it's double elimination
So
brackets.
2 best of 3.
Yeah, they need 2 best of 3.
They do,
still,
excuse
yeah.
me. Well, they have to play the semi-final.
No, they
No.
just need 1 to actually be one of the top 2 teams.
Because, they
You'll
own
get
the
into a
semi.
grand finals, which is for seeding, and obviously like a bunch of money.
Yeah, I did just check this.
Fair enough.
So, yeah,
It's almost like doing math again.
by topping the group, they will then, of course, get
It's
the
almost like we're all tired here.
Yeah.
God, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm feeling fresh as a daisy. Hashtag Brazil time. Yeah.
Hashtag Malaysia time. Yeah.
Oh dear. Either way, we did see. I mean, look at that 12-4 scoreline. We were reading this like, oh, what on earth were we thinking with LDLC? But then they come alive on their T side, and it did seem like XMS was a big factor in that. That ace, kindly gifted to him by existence, just tagging
like
up
a
the
good
final one.
teammate would, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw, this was a really funny turn of events. Engine, the only player without head armor. Helvor, you were pointing this out to me.
It's
There was-
unfortunate term of it. It's what always happens to yourself if you're playing matchmaking or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, oh, I'm just going to skimp on head armor this one time.
Yeah, they won't get me. It's
Yeah.
fine. He did play a headshot angle. I mean, and this push.
Yeah.
Natsu, you were trying to understand this one.
I don't think we honestly
didn't
did. I
come
think
to a
it was
good
just a
solution.
gamble for Misto to. I mean, maybe they thought the money. I mean, money wasn't great for Space Soldiers, so they were probably banking on Space Soldiers having an eco, and he just went for drop. He saw it's empty, went through the window and the connector, and it was his lucky day. Got 2 easy kills on B.
It's time to start rolling the Despy feed, because look at this, round 25, and he just kept on going. It takes 3, I believe, in this round, and it was just, he was the instigating factor.
And this is the Mr. round. We can see Mr's already out on the B bomb side here in this situation, and then, you know, fast forward a little bit, he's still not committing to actually pushing the guy in connector. So XMS has nowhere to go. Normally in a perfect world, you'd see XMS pushing in through the smoke in connector after Mr. picks up that first frag, and then at worst case scenario, XMS might get picked off, but Mr's going to get the trade frag, he gets the bomb plant, or he picks up the bomb, has the opportunity to get a bomb plant, and then play the 1v2, where you can actually have pick-off angles if Space Soldiers decide to split up. So you give yourself a much better chance of actually trying to retake a site that you haven't, you never really got control of as a T with no utility, low HP, and being spread apart. So that was probably the biggest mistake they made throughout that T side.
Still identifying some of these kind of fundamental errors that we find ourselves outlining here at the European minor. Let's look at the scores on the doors, though. We said it wasn't just the Xantares show, and it certainly wasn't on either side. As we bring in them up, you can actually see that it was a rather fair split across the board. In fact, Paz, the name that you've been relentlessly reminding us of, Natu, is the one to watch, almost second in charge.
He's just great at just spinning around and getting a lot of multi-kills. I mean, he's a one-man army, right? Did a tremendous job on that B bomb side towards the tail end to eventually have Space Soldiers win. Obviously, Despy only hitting 18, but I think
9 of those or something were in the last
very
3 rounds.
Look at his
important
first
kills.
half. 5
Yeah,
frags in
exactly.
the first half.
Yeah, I mean, and great plays when as an opera, you're getting pushed as much, or like you are the one under pressure on that A bomb side. You kind of have to hit those shots.
Yeah.
If you don't, you kind of lose that control of the bomb side, and then it becomes a very, very tricky situation. So many important kills for him.
LDLC did look like lambs to the slaughter at one point as well. It seemed like they just kind of lost all of that structure that you guys were so proud of them for having, and just started running into Despy on towards that A site. You guys were shaking your head and tutting at times.
Like, look at the bots running around.
Yeah, no, especially that on 11 to 13, which obviously, again, as a CT, you're in that situation where you only get 1 buy every other round, and that's not really a good buy either. You can only get select few grenades, and obviously, if you're T side, you can recognize that very easily by how the flow of the game is going, so you can, basically starve out the CTs, and instead you see LDLC more or less committing to bomb sites without using flashes, using smokes, and et cetera, to gain ground, because when you're going up against that few nades, you can actually use extra utility to get map control that you normally would prefer to hold on to when you're going up against a CT full buy. And instead, they just opted to do none of that and just run into to Desp over and over again.
Seeing an abundance of rounds dictated by the Deagle as well. Like, it does just seem like we're still in this. It doesn't matter if you are a Nico or it doesn't matter if you are, a space soldier. Still, the Deagle is influencing these rounds to a manic extent. We just saw Toinu getting that double on plat that did bring home that force buy.
Yeah, I mean, the problem I see is like you're asking for trouble when you're staying on plat and you have a CT on the B bomb side, right? I mean, you kind of have to push and commit to the bomb site, go up front to their face, because that distance is just prime Deagle territory. It's
kind of painful to watch, actually. That $700 investment just shredding through what's like $5 to $6 grand. Painful stuff, but indeed the war does wage on. We're going to be bringing you a semi-final. In fact, it's elimination time. Alternate Attacks and Godsent are about to go do battle in a best of 3. Put the best of 1s to a side for now, and it's going to be time for the Swedes to really, it is time for them to prove their worth. They're on the ropes versus Alternate Attacks, who did look very scary in their first best of 1 despite falling in the end to the likes of Space Soldiers. We're going to take a break. When we do return, after the players are set up, we'll be bringing you a best of 3, and it's time for Godsent to see if they can live up to that name.